best friend. This episode of Claws, I was just not here for it. I don't know, like, it was just dry. It was just real dry. Like, it was, I don't even know how to explain how dry it was. Just know it was giving me all kinds of desert teas, okay? Because it was just dry. They didn't really give us anything new or exciting. I mean, it just wasn't there for me. I'm almost here. I'm finna be like, okay, you got one more episode. If it don't work out like that, then I'll catch you on Netflix. And then I'm gonna pray for you, because y'all know how they be canceling shows and stuff, and it already didn't get a good rating on Rotten Apple. So we just gonna see, okay? So if you're interested in seeing episode 2 Funerary review, then stay tuned. So just going ahead and jumping into this show. So basically, the show starts back off where it left us off with last week, where Virginia and Desna had killed, well, actually, I guess Virginia killed Roller for Desna. But anyways, they decide that they are trying to get rid of the body. They try to figure out what they gonna do to get rid of the body, and then it was like a light bulb went off. They see a boat over there on the side, and they both look at each other like, "Ooh, we could put them in the boat." And I'm like, oh gosh, this doesn't look like it's gonna end well. And then it was just like, as they were trying to get him to the boat, it was just too much. Like, why did they have on these heels? And then when she finally said something, when Desna finally said something to Virginia about her having on her heels, I was like, Desna, you need to take your heels off too. How y'all gonna dispose of a body trying to run and can't even run correctly? Like, you tiptoeing around with this body. I just know you're not properly disposing of it if you can't even get to the body where it gotta go, you know? So I was like, okay, I'm just let them have this scene. Virginia puts the body in the boat, finds out it's another body in the boat. They don't even go to investigate who the other body is. They're like, ew, I don't want to touch it. I'm not gonna do it. Virginia does leave Roller's golds, which I'm not even sure how they got out of his mouth, but she puts them inside of Roller's mouth, and then zips back up the surf bag that they had placed them in. And then they put the lighter fluid in the boat, light the boat on fire, and send the boat off on its way. Now, I was like, so this boat just gonna sail to where? Did y'all think that through? Like, how long is this little platoon that y'all selling him on? Because I just didn't think it was no big set of water like that. So I don't know. I'm not sure they really thought that one all the way through. But anyways, they go back, and Desna is trying to come up with a plan on how they're gonna approach the situation going forward. They don't want to let all the girls know, so they're trying to keep it calm until they can really come up with a plan, because they didn't have anything. It was nothing in plan. So the next scene, basically, I'm just gonna give y'all the key points again. So Uncle Daddy and his family, they're all around waiting to see what happened, because they did have someone tell them that Roller was missing. They knew Roller was out of pocket, something had happened. Then the police officer comes, and he's like, oh, okay, well, this is what happened to Roller. We just found his boat. We barely found him, but we did find his gold, so we know it's Roller. I was like, oh wow, okay, well, I guess that was important for her to put the golds back in the bag. So then we have Uncle Daddy. He meets up with Desna. He comes there after he had smashed like a wall or window or something in the car. And so his knuckles and stuff were all bruised up. And he goes to see Desna. He tells Desna, meet me at the nail shop. And she gets there, and she's really timid. So you can tell that she's just really, as far as it goes with Uncle Daddy, she doesn't really have all that confidence that she had before. And I don't know if it's because of the whole I just murdered your nephew thing, but she just wasn't calm, cool, and collected. Like, she was dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. That's what I felt like she was telling everything. But anyway, so he comes in with his badly bruised hands. He tells Desna, like, I know you used to, you loved him. And Desna doesn't say anything. I'm like, say something. You gonna have to say something. You try to keep your cover, you gonna have to say something. Like, say, yes, I did, I sure did. He ain't do me right all the time, but I still had love for him. She didn't say nothing. I was like, point number one, you did it, you're guilty, okay? And she just kind of looks off at him, and then he says, okay, well, where were you at the night of that it happened? And she was like, no, he asked her, when was the last time you seen him? And she was like, well, I saw him the day of, I was threading his eyebrows. Now, the same thing, I was like, why is this grown man getting his eyebrows threaded? But because Roller was so flashy like that, it made sense. But, to the common person, you'd be like, why this man getting his eyebrows threaded? She said he had a standing appointment, and so because of the standing appointment, this was just the day that it happened, and he seemed real shaky and real iffy, you know, seemed like he was real scared. And I was like, oh, okay, he didn't seem real scared to me, but I'm gonna let y'all have that, you know, play your story right, okay? So then he says, okay, well, what about this Virginia girl? Because, you know, we know how she is. And she was like, you don't got nothing to be worried about with Virginia. She's seeing her mom right now who was sick. And then we was like, okay, well, good try, good cover up. But he wasn't buying it. You could tell by the look in his eyes that Uncle Daddy was like, nah, I don't really think so. I don't think that happened. So Desna goes to find Virginia. She went to find Virginia before, and to no luck, okay? But she told her roommate that, hey, if you see Virginia, you need to tell her to call me. I'm her boss. You need to tell her to call me. After having a conversation with Uncle Daddy, this furthermore made her want to go find her. She's like, well, where you been at? You know, like, what's going on? Okay, so Virginia, basically went to her quiet place, like her place of getting away. And she told Desna when Desna found her that she was trying to get away because she didn't really trust Desna. She was like, you know, I did kill him for you, but you could turn on me just like anybody else can. And I understood that. I was like, okay. So they go and they find out a plan, you know, try to figure out how they're going to play this off, you know. So all in the meantime, things that we found out in the background was that Jen's husband is actually Uncle Daddy's nephew as well. So I don't remember them putting that connection together last time, but we find out that Roller was actually her brother-in-law. Uncle Daddy wants to pass along the business to Jen's husband, but Jen like, nah, he ain't going. That ain't what he gonna be doing. So try again, okay? And Uncle Daddy's like, well, okay, we're gonna let this go for right now, but more than likely he'll probably try to pursue it because Jen's husband is just a life coach, and he's doing his life coaching at the local Elks. So I don't know how far he gonna get with this life coaching or how much coins he making, but I can foresee him taking over that entity of the business. So back in the nail shop, then we see all the stuff that is going on there, and we know that Desna was trying to purchase another spot, and it was going to be in this like prestigious area. So the owner had sent someone over to kind of like do a spy check to just see how her business was going, to see if she was conducting business well, customer service, things like that. Things that you do when you're introducing people into a new neighborhood. You want to make sure that you're selling it to the right people. So I understood that. They are servicing these two ladies in here. One was an Oriental woman. Is it Oriental offensive? I hope I'm not being offensive. And then the next one was a Caucasian woman. And that Caucasian woman was the same lady that we had seen from last week. I think looked like her. Was it the same lady? Y'all tell me, was it the same lady? They look just like, minus the tattoos on her hand. Now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, so they were catering more towards the white lady as she was getting ready to leave because she didn't look like she belonged. But then there was the Asian or Oriental, I'm not really sure what she was. She was over there, and I honestly think that it was her that what actually was the spy and not the white lady. So that's just my theory. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. So we get to the funerary, and the funerary comes, and there's no Virginia in sight. Okay, now one thing about the funerary, which I have no idea why it's called a funerary, y'all let me know down below if there's like, if this is something like they do in Florida, they call things a funerary. But I'm trying to call it a funerary, but they was at the fune, okay, and they had like these strippers on a pole. I was like, what is going on? They walking the body in with strippers. I was like, okay, but this is Roller's thing. This is who he is, okay? So we'll take it and let it be. After the funeral, just to let y'all know that Uncle Daddy, he kind of got on the floor and he was like really in his feelings. He was like, ah! I was like, okay, that was really his baby boy. Like, they really felt like that was his baby boy. So after the funeral, at the repast, I'm assuming that's what we're gonna call it, or this is like funerary part 2. I don't really know what they call that. But anyways, people are walking up to Desna and they're like, oh, we're so sorry for your loss. We sorry you lost your bae. I know you're going through a hard time right now. And she was like, why everybody in my business? It was like, well, they treat you like you the widow, you know. And I'm like, okay, really? But that's okay, you know, we're gonna let Desna have her moment in widowiness and let her be. And Uncle Daddy gets up to start singing a song, and I was just not ready. I was not ready for him to start singing a song because I was like, what? Who told you to sing? And just as he's getting into it, he's like in his second verse, and it was a church song too. He's in his second verse. Virginia bursts through the door, and she has bruises and everything. She falls to the ground, and she says, "They got me." And she says, "They tried to burn me too." And she's talking to Desna, because Desna ran over to her at this point. So in next episode, we find out more into this plot or this scheme that Desna and Virginia have come up with to try to mask everything that's going on, or whoever they're trying to blame it on. Again, I don't know if y'all felt any excitement from the review. I have 1 page of notes, and usually I'm with 2 to 3 pages, and that's all I had. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know if you're gonna stay tuned for next week. Give it another try. Give it another try with me. Let's give it one more try. Let's give it to week 3, and we'll see if week 3 gives us some more drama. If not, we'll all just sit back and watch it on Netflix one day, and then I'll re-sum up the whole entire season and just add that to there. So I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Best friend gotta go back to work, okay? I got things to do. I'll catch you guys in the next one. KK, bye.